G'day, gentlemen. This is part two on navigation, and this time we're looking at the common question they will ask you sometime is that on a single journey, or it could be multiple, they want to know how far north or south or east or west a journey that's actually on at an angle. I suppose this might be your place, and you know that your mate is a couple of streets away. And as the crow flies, this is the direction and the distance. But you know, you have to navigate through roads which are at right angles to each other. And so the actual distance that you might have to walk or ride your bike is a little bit longer. So that's what this we mean by north and east, south and west. Um, this is a nice, pretty diagram, but let's have a look at this one here as I would approach it. So a ship at sea has traveled 250 kilometers on a bearing of north 30 degrees. So remember, we always start with a compass rose. So let me just do a nice, simple, uh, there's your straight road. Oops, maybe turn it around, doesn't matter. I should maybe have done both sides. No, maybe that. And because I know it's north 30 degrees, I'll make the rows just across there. And that's our starting point. That's where we're starting from. There's our north. And this bearing is based on the north turning certain amount of degrees east or west. In this case, we're going east. And so we're going through 30 degrees and we're going along this direction for a distance of 200 kilometers. We can now identify that if we were to go north and can find out how far north or south, east or west, in this case, starting here, we're actually going north till we get parallel with that line there. And then we head, obviously, in this case, east. Um, had the direction been here, obviously would have been going north and west. Or had it been down here, it would have been going south and west. And if it was there, it would be south and east. So that's why they say north or south, east or west. But clearly, because we're going north or south, we will create a right angle triangle every time. I would now simply say that we now have this 30 degrees and we need to find out what x and y is. So obviously we're going to have to do a couple sets of calculations. So let's do how far north first. That's how far north. I always say draw, draw, draw. Let's make it nice and simple so you won't get confused. 30 degrees. That's what we want. 250. And there's your right angle. Don't forget to label your sides. So we always do the hypotenuse first. Oops, let's go for a red color. Hypotenuse. And then there's this is the adjacent, and we're not worried about the opposite. So obviously that's SOHCAHTOA. So that's cos theta. Cos. Let's see if I can get that pen again. Cos theta. Oh dear me. Here we go. Cos theta equals a over h. Cos 30 degrees equals x over h. Now here is where you will need to know your ratios for sine, cos and tan for 30, 45 and 60 degrees. So cos 30 degrees, remember, is root 3 on 2. That's equal to x on, sorry, that should have been 250. So multiplying both sides by 250, we end up with what's wrong with my pen? X equals 250 multiplied by both sides. So it's going to be 250 over times root 3 over 2, which is 125 root 3 kilometers. And we would leave it at that because we would be doing this in the tech-free section. And of course the y, okay, how far east, okay, again we're doing the same triangle. This time we're working out y, which is obviously the opposite. We've still got the hypotenuse at 250. And then there's the 30 degrees. This time we want sine theta equals O over H. So sine 30 degrees equals y over 250. Remember, sine 30 degrees is a half, just like Sheldon in the Big Bang Theory, equals y on 250. So y equals 125 kilometers east. Well, this one was north. And that's it. Pretty straightforward. Now, sometimes you may be given a second journey. Then you would also create a triangle and do east, west, north, south. Hope that helps you. But it is basic trigonometry with a little bit of navigation. As you can see, we turn the direction into an angle in a triangle. That's the end of part 2. Wait for part 3, which is a challenging question. That's when we combine a couple of stages to our journey. Cheers.